Okay, guys. So, welcome back after like a 2-year gap to the Life is a Cabaret podcast. And we'll also be posting on the Dolls of Horror because why not? Guys, I
We've been
got
timing you, Summer. We've been timing you.
We've been waiting, Summer. We've been
I
2
waiting.
years is a long time.
It seemed like
Guys.
7
Yes, it really did.
without
Though.
you.
I just posted my first episode back for April Fool's Day last night, and it's like the emails are like, "Oh my God, you're back! What the hell?" Surprise! This is not.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that because for a minute there, this morning I thought, "Are we April Fools? Are we the April Fools?" Which would also be perfectly in keeping with reality.
On brand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I must let you both know that I normally drink my my bevy out of the can, but in honor of you, I got my handy dandy
yay!
coffee cup, fueled by
That's
callbacks and
great.
coffee. For me, it's fueled by callbacks and Diet
fine.
Coke, but
Do it.
Everything tastes better out of that. I wish I had mine. Mine is in the
Does,
dishwasher.
doesn't it? Now
Yeah.
I need another cup. Like I need a hole in the head because it's out of control. I'm kind of a mug hoarder, but it was so cute and it's so deliciously large. How can you resist this?
I
guy?
know it's the perfect time. Do you have a mug fetish, Summer? Do you?
I might. I might.
Just asking. I've known people with cake plate fetishes.
Well, okay, so I would love to start this by talking about you guys. First of all, thank you both so much for joining me, Patrick. I've been a fan of yours since I was an itty bitty baby from Frankenstein the college years.
Not to make you feel ancient or anything.
Too late. I already,
Lean in.
You can't possibly make me feel older than I already feel.
And the funny thing is, Patrick, is I've been wanting to get you on this podcast for quite a while, but like I said, life got busy a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh my God, I just can't. And then you guys came out with this amazing show of yours, The Working Actor NYC.
The Working Actor NYC. That's Patrick Richwood.
That's Benjamin House. Oh, it's a knee-jerk reaction.
And I'm like, wow, I want you both now. So it worked out.
It's better with both of us.
It
Two
is.
for the price of one.
The banter, guys, the banter. And, Patrick, your ADD, man, out of control.
Yeah.
The master. The ADD master.
I know.
Okay, so let's
Believe
begin
me.
this. I would love to know both of your acting journeys. How did this start for you? Patrick, go.
Oh, I wanted to hear Benjamin's first.
Well, the quicker we get to you, the less distracted you'll be.
Are you kidding? After I talk, I'm not listening anymore.
Also true.
It is not listeners, viewers. What was I going to say? Oh,
Acting journey. Patrick, the early years.
Acting. Patrick, the early years. Oh, actually, it started so early that it's hard you can't really, say that it took this turn or that turn. I started, as soon as I knew I could make people laugh for real, came from a family of people who were funny. Really funny and witty as well. There was wit on my mother's side and silliness on my father's side. So it was a perfect storm. And so I was lucky because I grew up in a house full of people who were really funny. And then I started making my teachers laugh. That's what it was. I had my third grade teacher. Her name was Henrietta Henry, believe it or not, Mrs. Henry, and she was so pretty. She had all this red hair piled up on her head, and I used to walk her to her car and carry her books for her when I was like 5 or whatever, 7th grade. I mean, 3rd grade, not 7th grade, 3rd grade, however old you are. 7. You're 7. And she used to say, "Oh my gosh, you're funnier than my husband." So I started to.
And that's where my journey took a left turn.
Yeah. And from that moment on, I was gay. And she was so great. And all my teachers that was my first audience. And then, because I realized I could get away, I could discern when to stop. which most of my young colleagues couldn't. So I already knew I was on to something. And then I just kept going with it. It became like my imaginary superpower, you know. I didn't have to be the kid who was constantly distracted that teachers were worrying about, and where there were whispered conversations between parents and teachers around corners. And everybody loved me, but I didn't fit in anywhere. It was so strange. And like, you know, I spoke with my lisp, and you know, I didn't know why I didn't feel the same way about, I wasn't curious about girls. I wasn't really curious about sports, which I think a lot of boys start out curious about or having fun with, because it's a communal thing. And I just wasn't really into it. So anyway, you know what I mean? So I suddenly was like, oh, I have a place where I can shine and where I can do my thing. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was off to the races from then on.
That was kind of my story as well. I went to a school where they were very sports focused. And I was so undeniably terrible at every single sport that I tried that really being in the school play was the only place where I felt competent and people gave me flowers. And do you know what I'm saying? It was like the only part of my life where I felt like I can do this. So
it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Summer, you'll be able to say the same thing. I'm positive. When that moment where you go, I think I'm a unicorn. And before that, you're like a reject. And after that, you're like a magical creature. You know, it's the tiniest little flip of, I guess, consciousness or frame of mind, or, you know, point of view.
Well, you know, Patrick, I must tell you, and I'll try not to fangirl too hard, okay? But you are
He's loving it.
Are kind of directly almost responsible for my acting journey.
Am I?
Yes. So I owe you people a lot. Now, like you said, you know, reject, weird, probably had a learning disability because I was just toted as stupid, right? And I learned how to work around that and fake it. And then I saw Adventures in Wonderland, and I was like, that started my entire love of musical theater.
Oh,
That right there. And I only watched it because I've always been a weirdo. When I watch things, I watch them maybe because I know the cast members or who made it, not because of what it was. And I knew who you were, obviously, because I'd already seen Frankenstein. Yeah. And I knew who Wesley was because I was already a horror fanatic at 8 years old. And so Tales from the Crypt was him. I knew who Richard Coleman was because he did Tales from the Dark Side. And I knew who Armelia was, of course, because my grandma used to play me Ain't Misbehaving. And then also she was in Ghost.
Yeah.
And also I never liked cartoons as a kid. I always liked the creepy puppet shows. Right? And so this was very on brand for my weirdness. Yes. And if you think about it,
you know that show was produced by the people who produced Pee-wee's Playhouse, Betty
yes.
Productions.
Oh, and the puppeteers were the ones who
Kyoto
created
Brothers.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
The Kyoto Brothers. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. That's right.
A horror encyclopedia over here.
I
of
love
course.
that.
But I was like, oh my God, musicals. Yes. And then when I started, so I was 10 when that came out. So 5 years later, I started my own theater journey. So you guys, all of you guys are kind of directly responsible for my theatrical journey. So I owe you a lot, is my point.
Wow. I'm so moved by that. I'm really very moved by that and touched and inspired back, because after you've been doing this for a long time, all three of us know this, you start to realize, oh, I'm actually making a difference for somebody.
Right.
And I think we weren't, we weren't holding back or anything, and, by the way, that show's still streaming on actually 99 of the 100 episodes. They've shoved the pilot in there and called it an episode on the Disney Channel. Which kills me. It just cracks me up because it's getting a whole new audience. anyway, I'm very touched by it. I really am. I'm very moved. Thank you for telling me that so much. And then also I just want to say it's an honor when you do a show like that
Mhm.
where kids are growing up with it,
Mhm.
because and you realize that the first time a 30-year-old or 35-year-old says, "Wait, you were you were," like they're looking at the program and you and going
Yeah.
and all, all the color drains from their face, and they're like, I have a, where is it? I have a mug I made in 1992 or 93. It's me. This is what I looked like. I had long hair.
Oh my God. Why do you have Japanese anime eyes?
That's the best I could do. That's
You're
before,
so hairy.
and that's after.
Adorbs.
That's so cute.
I made it. Yeah,
Come on, skill
I made it
set.
myself. I'm on hiatus.
I
What?
love it. You're such an artist.
I'll take 6, please.
Hey, we already talked about my mug fetish, guys.
Oh, that's right.
Don't turn me on.
Don't tempt. Don't tempt.
If
How
I
much
came
you
over,
want?
if I came over, I'd be like pocketing that.
How much you give me for it? A guy offered me $2,000 for a pair of rollerblades from the Rabbit, and I was going to throw them out anyway. And I was like, okay. So I buffed them up, and I got them all ready for him, and I sent them to him with a couple of other little fun goodies,
Aw.
and he has them on in a
I
uh,
would too.
thing. It's in his
Yeah.
house. Yeah, anyway. It's not lost on me how the place a thing like that holds in people's
Mhm.
hearts. It's really not.
Right.
So thanks for letting me know that. I
Yeah.
honestly, that's
It's so I've talked about how you were such a big influence on my journey as a performer. Can you tell me who your biggest influences were back then? Or even now?
the biggest influences for me. You mean back then when I was a kid?
Yeah, or even now.
I want to be Alan
Um,
Rickman when I grow up.
Benjamin is one of my influences. You already are
Aw.
Alan. You already are Alan Rickman, in all the best ways. Benjamin, anybody who is that I look at their work, if I'm sharing the stage with them or I'm watching them from the audience, particularly the stage, but even on film, but usually it's the stage where I go, see, I couldn't do that. If I see them getting laughs and being masterful in some way, then I want to be their friend, Benjamin. That was Benjamin. So he'll tell you, I've told him this before. We were doing Anything Goes together, and he was playing Lord Fauntleroy or whatever. What is his name? Evelyn?
That well-known character of Anything Goes, Lord Fauntleroy. Yes.
What's his name? I can't
Lord
remember.
Evelyn Oakley.
Evelyn Oakley, and he's the one that. Do you know the show, Summer? Do you know
Oh
Anything Goes?
yes, it's one of my favorites. As a dancer,
It-
it's one of my
I
favorites.
I never liked it until we did it, and
Really?
I
Moonface.
think it's kind of a perfect musical in a lot of ways. I know it's had a lot of iterations over the decades, but
Well, I like it. I never realized it could be done I never realized it was a farce, because most
Mm.
people do it as sort of a period piece and a tap show and a
right,
kind of
right.
a like that, a romance, sweet romance, and it's such a farce
Yeah.
that you really the only thing missing are the slamming doors. Honestly, it's so
Yeah.
funny. So, and Benjamin was doing all that. I said, what is all those words, all those phrases, like too hot to trot. you know. So anyway. My influences when I was young were all my parents loved the theater. They got the
Mm.
theater arts magazines, and every month, I think it was called Theater Arts, every month they published a new American play that was going to be on Broadway or somewhere. And it was published for the first time in this magazine, and they'd come and we read them, and as that we would sit around and read these plays. We'd all get to play parts, and and they bought all the albums, all the Broadway albums. We had them all. They loved musicals. So those were my influences, the greats: Zero Mostel, Angela Lansbury, Mary Martin. You know, um, you know. Now everything in the world is John Raitt.
Yeah.
Just all the greats from back in the day, and then forward, and then as the shows got more modern, like I was walking around at 12 going tits and ass, got bingo bongos down. I didn't know
I mean,
what
same.
I was saying. So those, I'd say my biggest influence was Broadway people, the stage. I was just completely, I had to get up there. I had to get on that. I had to get up.
So Patrick's family sounds incredibly highbrow, and mine was totally the opposite. The cassette tapes in our car were Queen's Greatest Hits, the Beatles albums, and Monty Python. We had all these cassettes of Monty Python.
That's very highbrow. That people
Monty Python.
Well, it's highbrow.
No, dear.
It's highbrow, lowbrow. You know what I mean? It's not the Three Stooges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I slapstick different, yes, but I mean, as for British comedy, it was not sophisticated. I mean, these were dirty.
I also think it's become more highbrow over time in the lens of yesteryear.
I think perhaps it looks highbrow to you guys because it was British, and for Australians, it was like, that's just our culture. It was part of our culture, I guess, is what I mean. So, I mean, mine was that sort of comedy, that sort of, there was an intelligence to it, but it wasn't Noel Coward or Cole Porter witty, so.
I always liked Monty Python best of all. They seemed witty to me. Yeah, it's true. Americans think that the British invented everything smart.
Do you have a favorite Monty Python skit or movie or bit?
How dirty are we allowed to be?
Oh yeah.
My brother and I will never forget this moment as long as I live. We were at the dinner table. I was maybe 10 or 11. My brother is a year and a half older than me. And our favorite was, and now the sound of John Denver being strangled. You came on my pillow. We thought that was hilarious. And my mother stops the conversation. Is like, do you have any idea what that means?
No.
But now I want to know.
I loved I loved all the silent ones, the ones that didn't require any words. And I remember there was one where there was the Scottish soldier. My family were all Scottish soldiers standing there, and a woman was one of them was dressed up as a dowdy woman, and there was a line of women, and she was taking $5, and then they go, the woman go over, look under his kill, and then go to the next one. Then the next old woman would stand up, give her doll, and that's what all it was just that funny little. They pulled back, and there's a line of
down the hill
waiting to get in. It's just so stupid. And I also loved when they would do.
Wait, is that why you wear a kilt? You're waiting for people to give you money?
I've been waiting all this time for people to give me money.
All this time.
Yeah. Chop, 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 chop. Somebody. No. Oh, we're killed because
next time we go out together, I must remember to bring quarters with me.
Can I ask you a question, Summer?
I guess so.
Why horror?
Why
I love horror, but why?
You do? Okay. My horror journey was very weird. I was scared. Until I was around 8. Like, I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house because she was the best, and like I said, she's pretty much directly influenced everything I love today. Musicals, horror, everything. But she had a house full of foster kids, and at the time I was an only child. And I was always trying to hang out with the older ones because they were cool. And every Friday night, we would go to the video store and rent movies. I remember when it came out, Little Shop of Horrors terrified me. So 5 years old was too young. And then I remember trying to sneak out to the living room to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space at around 5 years old. And I was terrified and I ran back to bed and covered my head up. My mom told me I wasn't allowed to watch it. And I said, but it's a clown movie, so it must be for kids, right? No. Now I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But then when I was around 8, so it was around 1990-ish, we rented the movie Suspiria, Dario Argento's Suspiria.
Don't know it.
It's 1978, I want to say, and it is Italian and very stylized, and it's about a ballet academy of witches.
A
and
ballet academy of
of
witches.
witches.
Uh,
And I was like,
It's got
ballet and
everything.
witches, what?
It's got everything.
And I was hooked from then on. And after that, it was all scary all the time. I stopped watching all children's shows. In fact, Adventures in Wonderland was probably the only children's show I was watching at 10 years old. I was
Well, some
only
people were
watching.
scared of the rabbits. So it depends on
I
how
was
old they were.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, the source material is like an LSD fueled nightmare.
It's
So
you're absolutely right. That's
it's
true.
already a spooky concept anyway.
I used to love horror movies as a kid because the nightmares that I would get from them made me feel more alive somehow. I don't know. There was something very invigorating
Well,
about
that's
a
why
nightmare
people
to me.
like to be scared when it's not a real situation because it makes you feel alive, but it's also safe. Nothing's really.
I like jump scares. I'm not
You
big
do?
on gore. I don't like. The gore bores me after a while. It's like I don't know. But so but I like a good jump scare. I saw there. You know what we need what we need on stage is another thriller because they're so few and far between. And I saw Death Trap when I was
Oh yeah.
a
Oh God.
teenager. The original cast. And there's a jump scare in the middle,
Yeah.
towards the end of Act 1 that is so funny because I've never
Great
been in a
idea. Why don't
Broadway
people
theater.
write those sorts of plays
I
anymore?
don't know. They could revive Death Trap.
Yes.
And what's the Audrey Hepburn's blind one? What's that?
Oh, Wait Until Dark. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
I'm
No.
sure I have.
Well-
Wait Until Dark. Yeah.
Okay. Wait Until Dark. It's
Where's my pen?
almost a direct lift from the stage play. It really is. It's like they just barely opened it up a little bit for the movie. And Audrey Hepburn's playing the lead. It's about a blind woman who's being sort of
Stalked?
manipulated,
Oh,
stalked,
yeah.
kind of manipulated. Anyway, it's so good. And there's a couple of real good ones in there. There's a couple of real good ones in there. But that's more of a psychological thriller.
True.
That's not a horror.
But those are amazing. Those are still fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of horror, Benjamin, I saw something in your theater credits that I am so intrigued by.
Oh God.
Teeth?
Oh,
The
Teeth.
musical?
Yeah.
Is that based on the horror film?
I believe so. I
it's-
did a reading of it before it became an off-Broadway musical. I did
Yeah.
a reading of it. I think Stephen Pasquale did my role in the off-Broadway version of it. But yes, it was a musical about vagina dentata.
Mhm.
And I played a creepy gynecologist whose arm got bitten off and died.
Bled out, huh? Yeah.
Fantastic.
The music was written by Michael R. Jackson, who won a Tony Award for Strange Loop.
I feel like I saw that show off Broadway.
Yeah, you probably
I
did.
saw it. Yeah.
And
They
the
really
cool thing
there
about
was
it
a
was-
giant revenge fantasy at the end, like a big blowout finale, right? Where everything goes to shit.
I mean, I know this isn't horror, but the Texas Chainsaw Manicurist? Tell us
Texas
about
Chainsaw
that
Manicurist.
off-Broadway show.
We did it. Faith Prince, Vicki Lewis, Walter Hudson, and I did this show called The Texas Chainsaw Manicurist, and it was a review of the music of Scott Warrender, who's a genius, and he's out of Washington State. He's a professor there, and still a composer, and he's got quite a following for his body of work. He wrote a show called Dallas Barbecue. He wrote a show called well, anyway, if you look him up, Scott Warrender, you'll see, and you can hear his people singing his stuff. And this was one of the funniest reviews. It was the funniest review I've ever done. It was so funny. And every song was a story song. Every song was a story song. And there was one pastiche in the like third part of the, I don't know the third that was about, got serious, and it was about people on the singles scene, and it was beautiful. But all the rest were really, really, really funny lyrics with, I think I was just talking about him with you, Benjamin, with beautiful, sparkly, kind of gorgeous music that you would think would be paired with more, profound lyrics and stuff. And the two worked so beautifully. And we were just talking about William Finn, who wrote Falsettos, Falsetto Land, all these other, Little Miss
Brain.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has the same technique in reverse. He does serious lyrics, things that are, I mean, not always, but if no matter how serious the subject matter gets in his music, in his lyrics, music is always light and buoyant and kind of sparkly and gorgeous. And the same thing, it works in reverse. It's just the two juxtaposition. Your move, everybody's like,
So what was the connection to Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Or, I mean, was there any, or is it just a cute way of getting manicurist into the title?
there was one of the songs was called the Texas Chainsaw Manicurist. She came from the South. No one knew her name. Some called her Madge. Some called her insane. Where she got her license, I don't know. I can't remember, but
What, you just did a hatchet job on people's nails?
She was a chainsaw, Texas chainsaw manicurist. Boom, 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 boom. She's a devil. She's a demon.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wait, now I'm dying to know. Patrick, have you ever done a horror movie?
Let's see. I feel like I have.
I mean, you've given some horrific performances, but I mean, has there actually been a genre movie?
Yeah, they all
that?
feel like horror movies for that reason. I did a movie that was about a killer, a killer on the loose in the art world, and that was called. Oh my god!
You're gonna have to IMDb yourself.
Yeah.
With Finola Hughes. Remember Finola Hughes?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but
Gonna have to dissect your profile now. Even more
yeah,
than
I was like a red herring character. I don't want to give anything away. What the fuck
Oh,
is that
nobody's
called?
gonna watch
late.
it.
Can't remember what it was called.
Gonna
But
have
I
to
do have a
hunt
fun
that down.
fact. I do have a Richwood family fun fact. Do you know the movie? Do you like the movie The Predator?
Mhm.
My father was the art director for that film.
Shut up.
Dark
Coming back
Side of
around,
Genius.
The Dark Side of Genius. That's what it was called.
Erotic thriller. Ooh.
Oh, I guess they would have called it that then. It wouldn't be considered an erotic
Film
thriller.
follows the story of an artist played by Brent Fraser, released from an asylum after being imprisoned for killing his model, and the dangerous fascination the journalist has with him. Ooh.
Yeah.
Where is it available, Benjamin? Is it out there still?
Oh, Amazon.com? Maybe on Apple TV.
Maybe.
It was racy. I mean, everybody was supposed to be like.
Was it
you
like
know,
one of
half-naked.
those? Was it like one of those Skinamax movies?
No, not that racy. It was just it was supposed to be like the director wanted it to be the director's name I think is Faden. I think that was Faden Papa Michael, who I knew from he was the cinematographer on another film I did in Romania of all places.
I was going to ask if this was a Romanian film for some reason.
No, this was shot in LA. I did do another horror film. I was trying to think of it. Actually, I think a really kind of good film for the genre. It's called Streets.
Yes.
With Christina Applegate. It was her first film. She was doing Married with Children. It was her first film. It was a dead serious role about kids living on the street and a sadistic cop that was mowing them down, and like a serial killer trying to find her. Because she witnessed the crime, she witnessed him raping someone or something. I forget, but it's something. It's very dark, and it's really good. The score is gorgeous. The lighting and cinematography and the direction are gorgeous. A woman named Kat Rubin directed. Kat Shea, excuse me. She used to be Kat Rubin Shea. Kat Shea. She directed it, and she did such a beautiful job. It was this is the funny part. It was a Roger Corman film. It was like, so you expect it to be like, it's going to be made out of cardboard and it's going to stink. But it didn't, because she really, for $1, made a quite beautiful. Like, she made some of the, this is going to sound funny, like I'm joking, but she made some of the darker stuff, the deaths, like, and stuff like that. My death is gorgeously shot, actually. She really did a beautiful job soaking this movie in kind of amber light and making it kind of underworld. And I recommend it.
Excellent.
Oh my God! Now there's an actual movie of Patrick's that I want to watch.
Streets.
We'll have
But
to
it's a low
review
budget-
it.
low
We'll have to
budget
review
film.
it on the show. Can I have you guys
Yes.
back to talk about this? Like
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah,
review?
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
That warrants a review because it's in that canon of Roger Corman stuff that's got such a huge following. Anyway,
Yeah, Yeah,
and it's her
obviously.
first film, so
Oh, how
yeah.
fun. Oh, that sounds
And
cool.
Corman did so much with so little. I mean, Piranha.
I was on like a school camp. I went to an all boys school and we were on a
Oh no,
camp when we were like 12 or something, and they showed Piranha one night. And we're
no.
all like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm a big Piranha girly. I love that one, and most of its remakes. Even I love that one so much. Oh my gosh, so good. So
I've never
good.
seen Piranha.
Oh,
But my dad used to love, he called them dogs. He'd say, "There's a good dog on TV tonight. Let's watch." It was just him and me. And we'd stay up and watch a dog. And like, so we watched, but that could be anything as long as we thought it was bad.
yes.
One of my favorites, which is actually not a dog. It's actually up there in the, from the early 50s, I think, a movie called Them.
Yeah.
Oh,
About the giant ants
Yeah.
and it was a pretty good cast. So the ants are pretty lame, but they were scary when I was. I mean, they're not that lame. They were scary when I was a kid. They did some cool things.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Popcorn? 1990-ish. So it's about a theater school in LA, like UCLA or something, right? And the theater department needs to raise money, so they hold an all-night movie marathon showing those old 50s movies. The ones that were like in smell-o-vision and everything, and then you know someone's killing everyone. And oh my god, such a great cast. Dee Wallace is in it, and
Welcome to my world.
Damn Yankees. Applegate and Damn Yankees.
Quinn Verdon.
Ray. Yes.
Walston, yeah.
He's in it, and so many people are in this movie. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorites.
I love when you see these old movies it was such a huge swath of this kind of movie or that kind of movie, and you go in the 50s, that all those things like the ants and them and everything all represented the Red Scare, and that they were addressing what was in the zeitgeist. And then in the early 2000s, we started experiencing all these zombie movies, and it was like, oh yeah, because people feel like they don't have any control over their lives, and they feel like, and that started right after the millennium kicked in. I mean, it was like, oh, it's so interesting if you look at the 60s on television, every other TV show, every other sitcom was a magical woman and the non-magical man who tried to suppress her. Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie. I don't even remember all of them. And that's, again, it's like that was expressing something that was right there in the society. And that's how it made its way out into the world and got expressed. That's why I love what we do. Love what we do.
Yes. So let's talk about your podcast, guys. We got to talk about the Working Actor NYC, please. And thank you. I don't want to be selfish and only talk about spooky shit.
Yeah, we it started because all auditions these days are self-tapes, and so Patrick and I would help each other out with our self-tapes, and inevitably what would happen is that we would record them we would see each other over Zoom, and I'd be recording on my phone or whatever, and we would finish the audition and then just sit there making each other laugh for the next half hour, chatting and catching up and dragging people and comparing notes on people that we loved and hated. And eventually, after months of this, I was like, we should just start recording these. So that became a podcast. And then it sort of started snowballing. And now it's
now it's a multi-million-dollar industry.
You got fancy merch.
You can tell he's a comedian.
Shirts, hats,
a
whole bit.
It really has become a thing. And yes, please visit theworkingactornyc.com, pick up your merch, your t-shirts, your Working Actor NYC hats, your coffee mugs. It became a thing. I started going down a rabbit hole of just really enjoying learning about how to promote the podcast. And that sort of just one thing led to another, and people started reaching out to me. And so we're starting to build a community, and it became coaching. And I now, do acting career coaching for people. And it's
really blossomed into an enterprise for Benjamin, I think. And I had a coaching thing already going, and I sort of it's different. I funnel it differently. I gather clientele differently. But what I loved about it was just it was in the world of information and
Mhm.
bullet points and things like that.
Mhm.
And actors we desperately want to try and latch on to things that have structure because there's so little structure in between jobs for us. We have to
Yeah.
find it, we have to create it, we have to generate ourselves.
The
And
hustle.
you
The
know
hustle is
The
real.
the
hustle,
hustle.
man.
And in the midst of all that, I think it's kind of refreshing and like a little oasis to hear a couple of people who have been at it for between the two of us, we've got about 7,000 years of experience. I mean, I was there when they were like, carving the new pages on sandstone to give you, like, here we've got some revisions. And they'd send them to you via carrier pigeon. Anyway,
It's
to hear us laughing and talking and just shooting the shit about it, I think is a great sort of safe place.
yeah.
Yeah.
And people learn stuff.
It
They're bound to because we learn stuff. We're yakking, like this.
and then there's also a sense of, particularly in the community, of like learning that other people are going through the same
Mhm.
trials, tribulations, and
Mhm.
difficulties that you're going through. It helps people feel less alone. And like, I don't think it makes anybody feel less crazy, but at least we know that we're not the only ones
We're
who are
not alone in
crazy.
our crazy. Yeah, that's right.
We're all in
That's
this
right.
shit together. And I
Hello,
think that's really
hello,
helpful.
hello, hello. The-
Well, I mean, it's also valuable not just for actors. I mean, it's like you talk a lot about, you're talking
Life.
specifically about acting, but that stuff can be translated to life skills,
Agreed.
right?
100%.
Oh
And
my
even life
God,
philosophy.
Patrick, people are taking life skills from us. I'm not
Yes.
sure this is a good idea. Ooh, I feel awkward.
I I think I don't know about life skills, but I'll tell you what, when it is about
Well, yeah,
life.
life skills, coping
Oh,
skills, how to deal with rejection, all that. We
yeah.
all have to do that, whether no matter what field you're
I
in.
I I
Yeah,
don't I
yeah.
don't make the podcast and come up with these videos for people because I have all of the answers. I come up with it because
Right.
I am making the mistakes right alongside with everybody
Right.
else.
Right.
Do you know what I
That's the
mean?
thing.
Like,
And also, they we as because we're both older. I'm way older, but um but I mean, Benjamin is like
I still have
mature
some
and
hair. It's
I'm
just
like a
doing weird things right
barnacle.
now. So
Yeah. Yeah. You're a seasoned professional and I'm the golem. But I will say this because I'm and Benjamin and I've talked about this and maybe you've experienced this too, Summer, as we all take another step forward in our lives and we gather more of that, I don't know, that um uh what do you call it, credibility.
Mhm, mhm,
Th-
mhm.
the truth is, people like I've had really people I admire who are maybe 20 years younger than me going, have you ever had the feelings that I'm having right now where you're like you don't know if your next job is ever going to, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 that's never happened to me. Like it's so funny to me that people are like,
people think they're the first ones to feel that way,
or
or
Mhm.
the
they
first
feel
person
like
to
they see
experience
us
that.
and they think
Mhm.
we don't haven't gone through that or are going through that, and so therefore it's really valuable to turn it right back and say, hey,
This is what longevity looks like. This
this is
is
what it looks like. Yeah,
yeah.
this is what lunch.
It's not
um, Does anybody help? Help! Help! Okay.
And you guys, you've also started doing some live streams, which are really fun. I have.
we're trying out a new format for our podcast, and now we do them live every 2 weeks. And so the
Yeah.
replay of the live is now
Mhm.
becoming the
Yeah.
podcast. And so we're trying that out because it just seems more immediate. It seems more
Mhm.
we can still focus part of the conversation around one topic as we have sort of always
Mhm.
done, but it allows us to sort of interact with our
Mhm.
audience, and I think that's really fun, and I enjoy that
Yeah.
part.
I mean, for Benjamin, poor Benjamin, because we'll pick a topic or someone will suggest a topic and we'll start and I'll just start. And then for Benjamin, it's just like chasing ants. It's like, I'm like, I picture him trying to edit our conversations and I think it must be like washing soap because there's no, and there's never going to be, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it all washed off.
Trying to catch all of the balloon strings and tie them into one knot,
He does. Like... Benjamin does all that. It's Benjamin that's doing all that work. He's doing the one that's doing all of that technical stuff, all of it.
So the movie podcast that I edited finally, after it's been in the vault for 2 years, I finally edited, got it out yesterday. It was very much like that. We recorded for 4.5 hours, and I condensed it, including the 8-minute like outro. I condensed it to like 2 hours, hour 55.
Well
but
done.
My co-host is so like, I had to Franken-clip so many things together.
Yes.
I took this part of the conversation, I put it in this part that happened in 30 minutes later. Boom.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's the best. I love him. He's my makeup artist. Oh my gosh, he's everywhere. And so, Benjamin, I can relate.
Oh yeah, Benjamin, you should see some of the first Benjamin. I'm like, and then I say, so I was saying to him, it was just.
He never finishes a sentence. It's like he gets tantalizingly close to the end of a sentence and then goes off on a different tangent. You're like, we were so close. We were so close.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm like 1/3 butterfly.
I know. I understand, though. I mean, my brain works like that too a lot, and that's why I like to have a conversation as opposed to a structured format, because that's never going to work for me. Unless the interviewee is a pain in the ass and will only give me one-word answers, and then I got to like stick to it. But if they're talkative, we can do this match. I've done a couple of those, and it's like.
But you know what, Summer? It kind of circles back around to that thing about that and Benjamin and I always end up, or not always, but often end up coming back to one thing, which is why we do what we do. There's always a lot of that threaded through our conversations somehow. Sometimes it's only contextual, but sometimes and way in the background, but sometimes it's really like what's coming out of our mouths. And why I do what I do is because, partly at least, is because when we're telling stories, and doing that, I think we're kind of, we're taking people's attention and we're helping them displace it for a couple hours, a couple minutes, whatever. And in that time, this is my theory, in that time that they're over there with the story, they're not over there with their problems. And while they're out of the building, the problems are working themselves out, or life is working.
Things get easier over in the problem department while you're focusing your attention on Patrick's
somebody else's. Yeah, exactly.
It's completely
true.
I
think it's true.
It is.
There's a madness to my.
I mean, if COVID taught us anything, it's that actors and entertainment, you guys are the essential workers, truly. Because what would have happened to our mental state if we didn't have all the 100 years of entertainment to fall back on? Whatever. To wrap us up, guys, first of all, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had fun.
Pleasure.
And I sure do hope that we can do this again, because there's so much more I want to talk to you guys about. Oh my God.
It's really been fun.
Oh, good. So to wrap us up, this is how I like to close out my interviews. I like to go to the Delve deck. The Delve deck is a deck of conversation starter cards. There it is. Made by my favorite artist-owned small business out of LA called Boardwalk, BORED walk. And I just like to shuffle some of the deck and draw a random card, because even I don't know what the card's going to be. Right?
Do it.
Yes, it's so exciting. I love it. All right. Picking the card. Oh, I dropped some. There we go. All right. I like this one. What smell brings back the best memories for you?
Oh, the smell of...
Keep it
it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be dirty. I can clear it. It's already
clean. Just kidding. If you heard the episode I published yesterday, you wouldn't be worried at all.
The smell of Bain de Soleil mixed with minestrone. What is it? Oh, well, actually, you know what? Suntan lotion brings me to some of the best memories I've had.
Laying on the beach reading Stephen King novels as a teenager. Those was
it's right up your eye. What about you, Summer?
I mean, I love popcorn. I need it with my horror movies. It's a necessity, right? But that's just general. I think this is a thing of the past, a shopping mall, a real mall. I live in Chicago, and so we don't really have those here.
What does that smell like? Like Christmas candles or?
No, it's a
Bath and Body
weird.
Works, yeah.
It's almost,
So
it's a mixture of things like Bath and Body Works and sterilization.
Yeah, I
Like,
was gonna say there's a weird like cleaning smells are
yes,
interesting, you
and
know. They
feel
can be
feel
very
free to
evocative.
share. I do a convention twice a year in Orlando, and my best friend lives outside of Orlando, and so we went shopping. She took me to the mall once outside there, and I and I hadn't been inside of a real mall because we have things out here we call malls. They're not malls. They're shopping centers, right? But I
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
been
they're not
inside of a
malls.
real mall probably since I moved here 18 years ago, honestly. And I was like, it smells like my childhood. I could,
Yeah.
and and that, so the sterilization, the Bath and Body Works stuff, the mixed
Yeah.
with the grease from the food court, I don't know, all of it combined, it's this weird, like, it's so unique. I don't know, but that's when it really hit me. I'm like, this smells like my childhood.
Yeah. I was visiting my old junior high school. I was like in my I don't know, I guess I was probably about 50 or something, or even 45. Anyway, I was visiting my old junior high school and it was empty. It's really eerie in Burbank. It was a Saturday and the doors were open. I don't know exactly how this happened. It's Burbank, but I went into the auditorium where I spent too many hours to ever count, developing myself as a
Mhm, mhm.
performer, as an actor, and those were really, really creative, full of productive years. And I was going up the steps to the stage or down the steps to the audience, I forget now. And the steps were done with this old soft linoleum, that kind of, not linoleum, it's that soft stuff that looks like linoleum. It's
Mhm.
from the late 40s or early 50s. Still there. It's got a distinct smell I never would have realized existed, except
Yeah.
that I smelled it. And the minute I smelled it, I was flooded with
Mhm,
good memories.
mhm.
And I that's the most that I've ever experienced. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
there's that smell. It's so unique.
You
I
don't
have
even
a
realize it till it
Yeah.
happens.
mine is that sort of dusty clothes smell that you get in a thrift store, because that just reminds me of the
Yeah.
costume racks in my
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
backstage at my high school
Yeah.
theater, you know, that sort of
Yeah.
dusty
Or
clothing
the smell
smell.
of
Yeah.
Ben Nye grease paint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
smell, that or
Those
clown, the
Yeah.
pancake and the clown, those
totally.
smells. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
those early
really, really do
theater
it for me.
experiences. Yeah.
Those
Oh,
really do it. Yeah.
it's true. Like rosin too, for me, does it.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even know it had a smell until I found, because I don't even think they use that
Oh yeah.
anymore because it ruins the floor. But I found a full jar. I pulled out my dance bag and I found like two brand new pairs of point shoes that have never been sewn or anything. I'm like, I wonder if these are still good. I know they expire. I know they fall apart. And I was looking for my tap shoes and I was like, wow, got all these slippers and then a whole new thing of rosin that's been
God,
in there for 20 years. And I opened them
still
up.
good.
Oh,
I
that's what that
remember
smells like.
that.
I remember that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird, right? The things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the secret ingredients in a Twinkie, by the way.
I believe it. I
No, I'm just kidding.
believe it. Or like the edible plastic they use for yoga mats that they put in like the McDonald's things. I think
Or
those are
those
Twinkies
wax
too.
lips. Remember those wax lips?
Oh God.
Edible wax lips. They said they were edible. No, they weren't. They weren't edible.
They were chewable. They weren't edible. They never dissolved. They never fell apart.
Yeah.
Ah,
God.
I like the mint one though. I didn't like
I'll
the
bet
red
you
one. I like the
love
mint one.
Halloween. I'll bet you love Halloween.
You know what? Halloween's for amateurs. Every day's Halloween. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on
Thank
this
you.
Life as a Cabaret podcast with Patrick Richwood and Benjamin House,
Thank you
Working
so
Actor
much.
NYC. Go check it out. Guys, where can the audience find you on socials or wherever?
We are at the Working Actor NYC on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. Come find us. Or theworkingactornyc.com has links to all of our socials.
Come find us and
remember-
come to our one of our live casts because it's so much fun to yak with and hear from audience members. It really is. That's really making a big difference for me.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fun because I can
He's
only talk
so
to this
bored
guy
of
for so
talking to
long.
me. He's desperate to talk to somebody else. So please, for the love of all things holy,
Please, somebody
show up
chime
and
in.
say something
You
to
read.
me.
You even read my comment when I posted on your.
Yes, that's right.
Of course.
Do you guys have a schedule for your lives, or is it just like whenever you have time?
No,
Every 2
no.
weeks.
There's Saturdays. Oh God, it's not this. Wait, today. So it's not. Oh God.
It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
next
Well, give us a date.
Saturday
It'll be a few days
That'll
will
be
be.
until this gets out.
Oh God, I'm on the wrong
was
day.
that the 12th?
The 11th.
Saturday the
11th, yeah.
11th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific,
Okay.
and you can find that on YouTube.
Awesome. Is it only streaming on YouTube, or do you jet out to Facebook and other?
We jet out to YouTube, Facebook, and we're trying to get Instagram attached as well. I do have TikTok set up, but they don't have the RTMP attached to it yet, so I can't do it.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't have that.
Patrick knows all about that.
XYZ.
And we can listen to your podcast on Apple Podcasts. That's how I do it.
Apple
but are you
Podcasts,
on
or audio,
Spotify.
Spotify, yeah, all of
Yep.
those.
And they're
Okay.
also,
And Benjamin spent hours and hours and hours cutting them together to make some semblance of sense. So,
I can relate.
shout
Benjamin.
out.
I feel like we're kindred spirits right now. I feel you. I feel you. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. And Benjamin, Patrick, thank you for joining me. And I hope
Thanks for having us.
play again sometime.
Thanks so much for having us. Really, it was so much fun.
Bye.
Honestly.
Yay.